Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another video making some ephemera for the fairy magic journals. As I've mentioned before, I'm making two journals. One I will be selling to somebody who's already pre-requested it. One is a lap book design and the other will be a two signature regular kind of journal. So we are going to make some origami envelopes. So I watched my friend Jez over at Nigezza Creates and she did these fantastic, let me show you the other, sorry, I'm going to reach here, show you the other one that I did off camera. And I'm going to give a full disclosure here. So I already did this video once, but when I went to do, because I wanted to do it on regular paper and then I wanted to do it on vellum to show you, and so I did this sample on paper off camera and I did this example on vellum, and I had no trouble with these folds, these corners or whatever. And then I went to do the video and it just was wonky. These folds wouldn't line up and I was just like, I cannot leave you guys with a video like that. So so I'm gonna refine my vellum process here at another time, so I'm not going to make you go through that, but this is the one that worked. This was my sample off camera. So this is the way it looks. So it opens up like that. It's just this big gaping mouth of an envelope, and this one is glued here, so this little flappy thing in there is glued to the base, and so you've got this nice large pocket that you could put stuff in. I thought it would be fun in a journal if you wanted to give, you know, a person a little bit of extra ephemera, maybe some tickets or some small bits or whatever, some quotes or words or whatever. You could do that, but that's what that looks like. So we're going to decorate this one on camera because I have it and it was a successful vellum one, but I'm going to show you how to make these, and I do encourage you, as this is an inspired video, to go over and watch Jez over at Nigezza Creates. She's a phenomenal creator. I love listening to her while I'm crafting. I often, if I have to choose someone, she's the one I watch while I am in my studio, not filming, just creating. So I've got a lot of bits here. I've got some lace and some gauze and such there. And then this is the one that I did on paper. So the one I did on paper, I thought it would be fun to just leave them so they could be unfolded and written in. I haven't quite decided if that's what I'm going to do with this one, but we'll see. So I'm going to leave this one alone so that I can kind of think about that a bit. And this was the other vellum one that was a fail, so it's just all messed up. Like these folds are all crooked and you can see it's sticking out. And I'm not into perfection, and so I will use this envelope, but as far as the video went, it was just like, oh, this is just a cluster, this is a mess. I don't want to make people go away from my channel. I want people to be inspired. I want people to be able to see a process from beginning to end that makes sense, and that even if it's got boo-boos, that's okay, but this was not going to ever work out, because with vellum, once you make those initial folds, you can't really undo it. So so that was the challenge I ran into with those, but that is okay. So I've got two here that we're going to do. So let's do this one first. So we've got this one, and these I wanted to also mention, you can make these any size you want. The only requirement is they need to be a square. So, and I apologize, this looks all crooked because what's going on here? There, let's try that. They need to be square. So this is actually an 8x8 piece of paper from the kit. And again, I'm using my Porch Prints Fairy Magic and Fairy Tea Party. And so, and I've got some decorative bits there. I'm just going to set those over there for now. So this is our front. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece of paper, turn it over, and you're going to make a line from this point to this point. So I'm going to move my camera up a little bit now because I want you to be able to see the full view here. And I will apologize in advance. I do have to turn things the way that it makes it work for me, so I will explain as I go so that you don't get lost. It's not really complicated at all, and I'm hoping that with using the regular paper, it will be better than the vellum. So I did print these on 20-pound paper. the one example that I showed you was done on 49-pound paper, and it was fine. It was fine. It was just a lot harder to get those folds to be really crisp. So you can do what you choose. But I'm anxious to see. I didn't actually make one with 20 pounds, so we're gonna try that out. So I'm making a line. I'm going to make, so when Jez did it, she said you don't have to do a line the whole way. You just need that guide, that edge. But I'm just going to go ahead and make it. And we will erase this line eventually when we don't need it anymore. So now you have this. So you're going to take one side and we're going to fold it over. Oh, this is going to be much better. I can already tell. I can already tell. So I'm starting down here at the point first because I want to make sure that I get that really fine point, which again is quite a lot easier with this weight of paper, I will tell you, because I've played with several different weights. So we've got that, and then we're just gonna go ahead and smooth that out. A little bit off there, so I'm just gonna push that out a little bit. So we're gonna make both of these, and then we will ink them and decorate them both. So there we go. Doesn't even really need a good burnish because the paper is so thin. I mean, you literally use your fingernails. And so then so that's what I started with. So I folded this side in. Now I'm gonna fold this side in, but I need to turn it for my own angle that I need in order to be accurate. So I'm just gonna turn that here. And again, I'm focusing on that point. I want that to be really crisp, like that. There we go. Looks to be pretty good. There we go. You're also going to be able to tell, because this will be completely straight, if everything is the way it needs to be. That was part of my problem on the ones I was doing, the vellum ones. So let's see if we can go ahead and press that down. Yep, looks good. So kind of looks like a paper airplane, huh? I guess paper airplanes were really origami. I've never really done origami, and there's tons of creators right now that are doing these really interesting flips and folds and things like that. So it's pretty epic. So we're not going to erase this line yet because we still need it. So now you want to determine how tall you want your pocket to be. The aim of this is this needs to fold over at some point, at some length under here. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm pretty much just doing it an inch. And what I'm looking for is I want that point to be on the line, because then I know that this bottom area is going to be straight. So I'm just going to press that because that looks pretty good. And I want my pockets to be a little bit taller than you could have this up farther and be okay. So we've got that, and I'm just going to crease that again. It moved a little bit. And so now we're going to go ahead, and I like to make a line here because it's hard for me to see this to actually fold it over. I can't fold it over, I guess is what I'm saying, without taking that up. So there's our pencil line. Pardon my dry fingers, oh my goodness. So I hope that you guys are doing okay. We are... This week is the week before spring break in Washington State, so our kiddos the kids have half days, and so it's going to be a pretty easy week for us. We still work a whole day, but we get to do other busy work for the rest of our time. So there we go, and so then this is going to come up here, and it's going to eventually get glued. I think with the 20-pound paper, I am going to glue that because the paper is very, very fragile. So that's what she looks like on the back. So it's upside down, but it's not going to matter because it's going to be beautiful. So now that you have that, we can go ahead and erase this line. And I'm only going to erase it down to where I know it would be seen, because the rest of it's not going to be seen. So I'm just going to erase that. Okay. I'm just going to tuck that. Oh, we've got a little pencil mark on here too. Let me get rid of that. I don't normally work with 20-pound paper, so this is challenging in a different way than using heavier paper. So Now what you're going to do is each of these sides is going to get folded over. So this is going to get folded over and this is going to get folded over. So let me show you that. So again, I have to turn it just for my own angle. And I'm going to go ahead and get that nice and crisp on that corner. And I'm going to go ahead and fold that. And I am going to burnish this with my bone folder because it's a couple thicknesses now of paper. So we got that, and we're going to turn it around. I'm going to just turn it this way, and we're going to do the same with the other side. And we'll do this twice. So if you miss it on the first one, you can catch it on the next piece. So there we go. There's that one. So I'm a firm believer in giving credit where credit is due. So that's why I link, well, I'll put Jez's YouTube name in the title of the video, and it will automatically alert her that she's been kind of tagged in for my project. So why is this so narrow? Look at that. This must have been bigger. Let's check this out, because now I ran into this when I was doing my other video, and I'm like, what? Why is it so different? This must be a different size, is it? Nope, it's 8 inches. But that is also 8 inches. What am I doing different? Look at that. That's 8 inches too. Strange mysteries. Okay. That's all right. So now what you're going to do, that's all in place. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to reverse this fold. So we're going to actually pick this up and we're going to fold this in. So we're going to try to grab that fold there. If you can see that right there, we're going to grab that fold and we're going to turn it. And then we're going to push that one in so that this outer one now lines up, which is exactly how it's supposed to work. Perfect, perfect alignment, gorgeousness, love it. Okay, that did not work on when I was on camera before. So here we go. So we're going to do the same here. We're going to go ahead and pop this one out. So I'm going to just try to start at the place where it's easiest to get a hold of, and I'm just working my way down. With the vellum, this did not want to crease. It just got all stuck and like something was happening there. And then this fold that's on the inside right here, we're going to go ahead and fold that against itself there, and we're good to go. So that is our fold. That is our pocket. So now what you want to decide is, so when Jez was doing it, I watched the video several times, and I think the goal here is you just want to make sure that this is covered up. So I think if we just went down to, so that this point is just barely below that, I think we'll be good. So let's go ahead and try that and see how far we want to go, because I like a taller pocket. So I'm going down about 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to press that there and go press straight across. I'm going to give that a good burnish. I almost prefer the heavier paper, guys, just so you know. And I love the way that looked, but I can't figure out why it is so. This is another sample, so that's the same size. So I can't figure out why that other one, why this one was so different. So strange. Okay, well, I'm going to have to investigate that later because they were all 8 by 8. I thought they were all 8 by 8. So there we go. So we are going to go ahead and set this one aside so we can do the other one so you can see the process again right away. And then we'll go back, we'll ink these, and we'll decorate them. So let's get the second one out. And I love, this is one of my favorite papers from the kit in terms of not a journal page, but just a background paper. I love it. Look at that. Isn't that just so precious? So we're going to turn her over. What did I get on there? And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a line from that point to that point, going diagonal across your paper. Okay. And you always have a chance to fix it if it's really off. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold this side to the line. So again, we're focusing primarily on that point to start with. So That looks pretty good, and just following that line down, 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 until we get to the end. There. Give that a crease. Okay. And then now I'm going to turn her around, around and around. I hope you guys are following, even though I'm having to turn it. I'm kind of, I don't do backwards, and when I turn things around, I get really confused. I'm very directionally impaired in general in my life. Like I could get lost in a paper bag. There we go, just trying to line that up so that that part being even is really important. So I'm just trying to even that out so we've got a little bit better seam going on there. There we go. Let's just go ahead and burnish that. There we go. So we can again go up, I think just for the sake of being different. Oh, why is that? When I fold it, it's bowing out. So let's just give that another crease and just kind of push it out a little bit. You know, anytime you fold things, you get kind of a different deal going on. So this one I'm going to go up a little bit higher. That's probably about 1.5 inches. Let's see, just for the sake of the video. Yeah, about 1.5 inches from this line to the tip. So we're just making sure it's lined up with that pencil line. And I'm going to go ahead and crease it at the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to make a pencil mark across here. I'm going just slightly above that line of the edge of that other piece. And then we're going to go ahead and fold that. Like so. And I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to erase this line. And I'm going to go ahead and erase the pencil line on the inside of this one where it would be seen. We don't need to worry about the whole thing. Since I opened this all the way up though, I can probably just erase it. Not a big deal. You don't want to glue anything though until you've inked, if inking is important to you, which it is to me. So folding again, up, folding in, like so. So there we've got that. And so we're going to fold this side into that and that side into that. Let me just show you rather than getting my hands all over in your way. So we're going to go ahead and fold her there. And I will tell you the 20-pound paper is easier to fold though than that other 49-pound paper I was using. So we're going to do the same here. Okay, just like that. So the cool thing about these is you could put it in, make it into a pocket, and so you could tuck something behind it as well. So glue it on 3 sides to the base of your journal page or to your journal page. Let's go ahead and burnish that really good. There we go. All right. So now we do our reverse fold. So we're going to open this up. And we're going to turn this one. So I'm going to start here. Oh, that one creased really well. Look at that. Perfecto. We're going to just smooth that out. Give that the opposite crease. And then push that one in to make it opposite as well. And then just press that down. This edge should be even, which is why I was having trouble. I'm not sure why with the vellum, but it was just not happening. So we're going to do the same with this side. So I'm going to go ahead and push this fold out, and it's folding really nicely. I would do this with 20-pound paper, you guys. I mean, this one will be nice. I'll probably use this in a journal because I like the thicker paper, and it could be left open or left so it's not glued, and it could be written on the inside. So we did that, and so then this one goes in like that. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So let's go ahead and ink these up and get them decorated. forgot to grab my ink and stuff. It's a work night, so always a challenge. But I got behind this weekend because I really needed to veg out. I didn't veg out, I mean I was still in the studio doing stuff, but I wasn't filming. I only filmed one video this last weekend, so I need to catch up again because I'm going to go to the beach for 2 nights with 2 of my sisters and on spring break, so I want to have some content for you guys. I'll be back when both of these are inked and we can move on. Okay, so since I unfolded all these to go ahead and ink them, let me just show you the folds one more time. So you have your paper, you have a line going down the middle, which we need to erase more of that. There we go. And so you're folding this into the center, that into the center. Well, now I'm not going to do it because it's already folded outward. So basically that's the fold. You guys saw it once. So on my prototype, I didn't like this because my paper was so thick. But I think with this paper, it's going to be okay to just leave that like it is. So I'm going to leave it. I didn't get a ton of ink on this yet, so I'm thinking I want to leave it because otherwise I'd be cutting off. Oh, I know what I cut off. I do want to cut it off. So I basically cut off this triangle because I don't like the way that looks. So let's go ahead and do that before we start gluing things together. So I'm going to turn it over so I can see those lines really clearly. You don't have to do this. Jez did not do this, but I just didn't really quite like that look. So now we're going to go ahead and take our art glitter glue, and I'm going to glue that little tabby thing inside. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on this tip. Hopefully my glue will behave. And pardon if you can hear the noise in the background. My husband just turned the TV on for the night. Oops, that's the wrong side, Cara-Renee. Silliness. Oh my goodness gracious. It's the other side. Oh my gosh. Oh, work night, you guys. It's always a crapshoot for filming. So it needs to go on this side. Goodness. Just that tip. A person could also glue those down. I don't know if she did that or not. I didn't find that it was a problem, like with the construction and the workability of this envelope. So sorry to hold this to my body here. This paper is trickier to deal with because it's so thin though. So, you know, you don't get the best of both worlds, I guess. So there we go. So I'm just gonna make sure that that doesn't stick there. So this is what you have, this great pocket. Great pocket. So one could actually glue in here to make that go down. In fact, since we're not pulling this apart, I think I am going to do that. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the inside, on both sides, just a little bit to just tack those edges down. Again, you don't have to do that. I like the look of it because it's making this lay flatter. So, but you do you. So there we go. Then we fold that over and we've got that. So I'm not happy with the inking here, maybe because I've just got so much print here, but it needs to be darker. Darker, darker. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and decorate this baby. So my struggle with the, I think I'm going to do a Velcro closure. I was going to do something else here. Well, let's look together and see what we've got. Where's my bits for this one? I've got these bits. Thought we'd do a cluster on here. So I think I'm going to forego I was going to use this as a closure, like that. But, well, maybe it would work. It's just this paper's so much thinner than I normally work with. So let's get this inked up and see if we like the look. This is just a a punch that I have. People have asked me before where I got it, but I can't find it online anymore, but that's what it looks like. So if we were to put this on here, we would go like this, and we'd put it just so that it would hook right there, so that would just slide in there. Okay, so I'm debating on that now, if I want to keep with what I was going to do or if I just want to do some Velcro. So I think I'd like to use it because I like the look of it. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'm only going to glue. I'm going to leave this glue free about to here. Sorry guys, about to here. So I'll show you here. I think you guys can see this on my surface okay. Except I want the straight edge, so I want that straight edge. Okay, which I already had, goodness gracious. Okay, so then we're going to glue the rest. And that's just going to act as a little tabby, a catch place for that flap. So the tricky part is getting it on here so you don't have to estimate how far down I went, probably about right there, and just get this centered as well. Move it over, Cara-Renee, quickly. Okay, that looks to be about good. It's straight on the bottom. I like that. It's a great extra element. So then when this dries, this is going to stick in here. Hopefully I did that right. Yep. There we go. So now we're going to do a little bit of a cluster on here. So I'm not using this big piece of lace, all of it, but I've got some bits here that I'd like to use. So I did a rough cut. I have these scissors I got. They're hair scissors. They're thinning scissors, and that's what I use around these, but I'm feeling like this is almost too big. So I'm going to trim it down and do away with that. Just make it a little bit smaller. But I love clusters because they make me happy, because I get to do my mixed media layering fanatical thing that I do. So we've got the stamp that's going to go on the top, and let's just ink up these other bits and then we will figure out what we're doing. These words are a little bit too clean for me, so I like to just ink up so they're mostly not white, like that. And then let's see, let's build this cluster. So I've got a piece of vellum, a piece of, this is specialty paper that came in my Taperology package I was talking about. That's been in my drawer, not ever touched, so I'm touching it. So I'm going to put some book page on the bottom here. So I don't want it to be too big though, so I'm going to tear that down just a smidge. I love making clusters, so if you struggle with it, I have an entire playlist of clusters, so tons of videos. I have basically a recipe that I follow. I use either a vintage book or music page and some specialty paper, like I've got a piece of vellum here, I've got some fabric, and I've got this other specialty paper. So I like to put that on the bottom because it's a good contrast. And then we'll put, shall we put a piece of the vellum there next? I'm just going to tear that down. It's the same paper as this, just printed on vellum. Now that I've done that, I need to do this differently. Yeah, I like that just fine. It's a little bit simpler than I normally do, but that's okay. I hope you guys are enjoying all the videos in the Fairy Magic journals. I've had lots of really positive feedback, so I love that people get inspired and then they go try it themselves. That just makes me very happy. I feel like this is too, it doesn't have enough give to it, so I think I'm going to pull something else from my my basket here because I'm not feeling that today. I've got this gold stuff. This would be really pretty because we need gold in our journal, right? So this is this really strange, it's like a yarn that I got, and when you pull it apart, it does this. It's just crazy. It's craziness. So you can actually just cut that more and just use a bit of it. I don't know what people use it for because it's crazy. Okay, we don't need that there yet though, so let's go ahead and put a little bit of that specialty paper on there. So I like to still see that music page, so that's really gorgeous and earthy looking. And then we'll put our little piece of vellum there. Oh, I didn't ink it. Gotta ink it. Vellum is the best thing to ink. It inks really beautifully. Except now I'm touching all that glue. So we're just gonna call that good. But it's really cool. So you can't really see much of what's underneath it, but it's still beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this on there as well, and then we'll put our little stamp on top. And our cluster will be done. I think we'll put the word down here on our little shape. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it a hexagon? I don't know. I should know that, shouldn't I? No, 6 sides. 5 sides is a hexagon. What's 6 sides? I should know that. I'm just going to try to push that with my finger, because if I try to do that with my paper towel, it's going to pull the whole thing up. So we're going to go ahead and put this here, kind of more off of it than on. Not off of it, but pulled lower is what I mean. So that it kind of lines up with this bottom little shape, whatever it's called. Oh, I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Look at that preciousness. Oh my gosh. Surprise myself sometimes. Shall we put another piece of this under our little word down here? I think so. So I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to still put a little bit of fabric tack down. It's a little harder to work with because it wants to just lift up. So there we go. That's beautiful. And then our word is believe. I'm so cracked up because my one of my recent videos was, the title was, Do You Believe in Fairies? I Do. And it was so fun to hear everybody say, I do, I do, I do. Made my days. It made my days. There we go. So this could be, again, it could be glued down onto, let me make sure this will open. Yep. It could be glued down to the page and treated as a pocket, a top pocket or a side pocket. It could be stuck into stuck into a pocket or into a, you know, gosh, I've lost all my words. A tuck spot. Basically, you guys know what I mean. So there we go. That's the number one. The number one. Let's do this one. So I already inked this one up as well. I didn't fold that over yet, so let's talk about that for a quick second. How far we want that to come down. I think I'm going to bring this one down a little bit further, just because. And I didn't play around with other sizes. I will do that off camera, and I'll show you the pictures in the video, in the photos at the end of the video, in case you want to see how we did that or how they turned out. So there we go. And so this one needs to be trimmed up here, so I will be right back when that is done. So I got those little cuts made just to get that extra bit out of there, like I showed you on the other one. Again, you don't have to do that, it's just my preference. So again, I think I'm going to go ahead and and glue this whole thing down is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go too close to this middle edge though, because I don't want it to get through onto the other side. So let's just do that. You don't have to do this either, but if you want to, you can. Oh, we don't want it everywhere though. We don't want it over here. Goodness gracious, Cara-Renee. Harebrained ideas. Just going to wipe that off. You don't want it. You only want it on this, basically, guys. Seriously. Seriously. So, and then we want some on the tip. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and fold that up. And then we're going to quickly pick it up so that we can tuck that tab underneath. Like so. So it goes on the inside. And that is beautiful as well. So, I didn't get much ink on that edge. I can fix that up. There we go. I like that. I like that look a lot better than them sticking way up here. So, but do you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and speed through the decorating of this one, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit. Okay, we are just about done. I said that I was going to decorate the vellum one also on camera, but we're getting a little long here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. It's the same process that I'm following here. Where'd my word go? I don't think I got a word for that, so let's just use sparkle. I pulled it for this other one, so I think we'll cut it down a little bit, and then I will let you go. I try to trim these videos down, so if it is too long for you, please feel free to speed me up. I won't be offended. You can speed me up to 2 times the normal speed and I don't sound terrible. So I encourage you to do that if you need to. And let's just put that there. I think I need a little piece of this. I liked this. I got this stuff. It's like a gauze or something from Hobby Lobby. It was in their wedding section. I think I got it last year, and it's pretty cool for this use, and I think it's a nice pop of color for this journal, so I'm going to put that right here. I'm actually going to put this down, and I'm going to put the Fabri-Tac on the back of my sentiment, and then that will hold it in, so it should be good enough. So guys, I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thank you for all of your support. Welcome to all the new subscribers. You guys just rock my world. We are nearly to 3,000 subscribers. The next video you will see, this video will air on Wednesday, March the 29th, I believe. And then the next video, probably Thursday, I'm not sure. After this one anyway, I'm going to be doing a reveal of a kit that I'm using from my Porch prints. I mistakenly did a short for that, and it made it seem like I was giving the kit away, and so Sweet Stephanie over at my Porch prints reached out to me and said that's a violation of our terms of service, and that was not at all what I was intending to do. I'm making a journal with the kit, but because you don't talk during a short, I didn't even think about the fact that it would be perceived that way. So I took the video down. I want to definitely honor their business, and I love Stephanie. So I will be doing a kind of a show of what I'm going to do with that journal, and it's going to be the 3,000 subscriber giveaway. So I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.